This is the Maono PD200x. And this is the Maono PD400x. Considering how it looks and how Maono priced it, I think they mean business with this mic. But does it sound as good as it looks? Let's find out. By the way, Maono did send me this mic, but everything I say in this video are my thoughts only. Let the unboxing begin. Hi, it's Future Dave here, and let me tell you who this mic is for. It's for gamers, creators, and voice actors who have a bit more of a budget to spend on professional sound. If you have about $140 to $170 to spend on a microphone, you would be hard-pressed to find a better USB microphone or mic and audio interface combo that can top this sound. And now that you know that, I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, let's unbox this thing. That is so big I had to zoom out. Right, moment of truth. This has gotta be the fanciest Maono packaging I've ever seen. Look at that silver text. Wow, it looks incredible. You got the pop filter. That is a plump piece of foam. Kinda reminds me of those bath scratcher thingamabobs. Got the base plate. Oh, that is a heavy base plate. This weighs a 304 gram base plate. That's definitely gonna do its job. We got an XLR cable with some silica gel. That is a thick looking XLR cable. I sure hope it's shielded. That is long. For reference, this is another cable that came with the Maono PD100. Seem to be the same length. PD100 cable, PD400X cable. The connectors seem to be the same. Both of them say high grade, low noise microphone cable. Well, I haven't had a problem with those cables in the past, so this should be a pretty good one. And our favorite, the USB-C to USB-C with Type A adapter cable. Look at that. And for the microphone itself, that is sleek. Oh wow. For reference, this is the Maono PD100 and this is the PD400X. You can tell this is really positioned to be the upgrade from this, and the PD100 also comes with a USB version. Anything else in the box, just in case? Nothing there. So the mic with the included shock mount weighs 728 grams. That is a heavy mic. I am digging that design though. Okay, let's mount it onto this. Oh, and of course it does come with a manual. And for those of you who want to see the specs, 24-bit 48 kilohertz, which means you can probably get away with a bit of clipping. It seems to have some boosted upper frequencies. What about with a foam? Before I put the foam on, let's see if it can do RGB. Huh, what do you look at that? It's kind of like a radioactive green. So this is your tap to mute button, gain knob. I like those white lights. But does it sound good? Let's find out. So there is a headphone monitor jack right here. Let's plug that in. Make sure to dial the knob all the way down before you do that. Okay, how does this sound? I'm kidding, it's not side address, it's front address, so you gotta record. Whoa, whoa, wow. That is a big sound right out of the box. Too much gain maybe. Let's lower that a bit. Wow, I'm not gonna lie. I like the sound of that. Highs could use some more shimmer. Tiny bit of boxiness there. But guys, this is USB mode. Sounds like it was recorded on an audio interface. And I'm talking like almost mid-range audio interface. This has at least gotta sound like it's on a Focusrite Scarlett. Maybe even more. But that's the neutral setting. Let's apply the high-pass filter. There's an EQ button right behind. So this is with a high-pass filter. Wow, I think Maono's actually listening. This is absurd. It's also got a presence boost. So this is how that sounds. And there's high-pass plus presence boost. Oh my gosh, ridiculous. As early as now, I'm already forming my conclusions about this mic. Add that foam. You gotta screw it on. Huh, that is smart. So the presence boost is presumably for when you have this foam windscreen on. Now without the presence boost, here's how that sounds. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. And we aren't even using the included software yet. Welcome to the Maono Link software. I am super excited with how this looks right now compared to back then, because I did plug in my little Maono DM30 over here, and I saw that the interface for this mic was different for compared to the PD400X. So they do have some special features reserved specifically for the PD400X, and let's just go through them right now. You do have the mute button. You got your headphone volume. This changes it on a hardware level. You got your monitor mix. You want to drag this all the way to the right if you want to listen to your audio playback cleanly, all the way to the left if you just want to listen to your voice through the mic without mixing it with the playback. Just set it to center if you don't want to be too particular about that. You got your tone, you got your deep, you got your natural, you got your bright, so that does change the tone. How does this sound? How does this sound? How does this sound? How does this sound? The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. You do have the near setting, and when you set it to that has the best, cleanest signal-to-noise ratio. You can set it to mid. You notice the audio gets louder as you step back. You set it to far. Wow. Like, even if I'm far, it sounds much louder, but the background noise does increase a bit. But I like this. It's a very interesting feature. Very convenient. You could even set it to deep and far. I'm not sure I would use that setting. Maybe I personally would use it, set it to natural and far for my voice. And we do have advanced settings. Same stuff over here, headphone volume, monitor mix. EQ over here is pretty interesting because what I noticed here is if you select these, all that does is it actually changes it on a hardware level. You see the lights behind the mic. These are basically the same buttons, right? You can set it down right here. You got your gain. You got your limiter. And you know what's super interesting? Unlike for the other mics, they actually added new features. If you select the limiter right here, bam, you get 3 dots to the right, and bam, you get these new settings. I like setting my limiter to -1 dB just to prevent that clipping. You may still get some distortion, but that will minimize the technical clipping. So you got your attack and release over here. So these are very standard limiter settings. You got your compressor over here as well. You could use them in tandem, and there you go. These are features that I have been asking for in previous videos myself, so I'm just glad that they included these. Very, very nice. One thing you could try out, learn more about how limiters and compressors work. For spoken word, one thing you can do with a limiter, pretty simple. You can set the attack to about 20 milliseconds just to keep your dynamic range there, but it still smoothens out your voice, and set your release to about 200 milliseconds. So you kind of get that radio voiceover like quality to it. There's 200 milliseconds there, 200. There we go. And so far, that, my friends, is the Maono Link software. I'm speaking about 3 inches from the mic, about 6 inches from the mic, about a foot away from the microphone. For the plosive test with the foam on, pesky P's perpetuate problematic plosives. A bit farther. Pesky P's perpetuate problematic plosives. About a foot. Pesky P's perpetuate problematic plosives. Without the windscreen, pesky P's perpetuate problematic plosives. Pesky P's perpetuate problematic plosives. Pesky P's perpetuate problematic plosives. Sibilance test. Sibilance sends sharp, shrill sounds through soothing soundscapes. With the foam on, sibilance sends sharp, shrill sounds through soothing soundscapes. Sibilance sends sharp, shrill sounds through soothing soundscapes. Mechanical keyboard test. I'm typing. You can hear me. I'm typing. And this is how it picks up sound. This is how I sound from the sides of the microphone. This is how it sounds if I use a low voice. This is how it sounds if I use a medium voice. This is how it sounds if I use a high voice. Without the foam, this is how it sounds if I use a low voice. Drop that gain a bit. This is how it sounds if I use a low voice. This is how it sounds if I use a medium voice. This is how it sounds if I use a high voice. This is how it sounds in vocals. How it sounds in vocals. I feature I kind of missed during the first impressions section is the monitor mix knob. So you can see both the microphone and headphone icons are lit up, and you see this purple light over here. And if the purple light is closer to the headphones, then you are listening to your playback more. And when the purple light is closer to the microphone, you're hearing more of the live monitor. So somewhere in the middle is about halfway. Let's do the voiceover test. Still can't pick a mic? Introducing the Maono PD400x. Get that broadcast dynamic sound without breaking the bank. Let's do the voiceover test again, this time in XLR mode. Still can't pick a mic? Introducing the Maono PD400x. Get that broadcast dynamic sound without breaking the bank. With the included Maono Link software, you can fine-tune your audio like a pro. Forget the upgrades. This is the only mic you'll ever need. The Maono PD400x. Upgrade your sound, not your spending. Okay, let's talk about the pros and cons. Pros. Number 1, this mic sounds good even without the help of built-in EQ or software. Pro 2, it does have a button at the back that lets you add a high-pass filter or a presence boost. So no matter what device you connect it to, you get some degree of control with your audio. So if you get on a call and connect this to, say, an iPad via USB, it can still sound great. Pro 3, the Maono Link software has actually improved and gives you more granular control over the compressor and limiter. Super helpful. Great job, Maono. And for the cons. Now for the cons, I think for me the main con is that the plosive performance is so-so. I think you're really going to need the help of this big foam pop filter. So you're really going to want to angle this to the side like so when you do the plosives like so, pesky P's perpetuate, or perhaps really just distance yourself from the mic. It's not the worst thing, but it could be better. The second con is that the internal preamps of this mic could still be quieter. I mean, in XLR mode, it performs really well. Connected to my Moto M2, you can get a very professional noise floor, but in USB mode, you're still gonna need the help of apps like Isotope RX Voice Denoise. Third con, in USB presence boost mode, the highs do get a bit shrill if you have a high-pitched voice like mine, like higher pitched like this, especially when I'm energetic. So the solution is to try to speak from your chest so you don't use too much of that higher nasal resonance, or simply don't use presence boost. I know presence boost does not work for my voice. Fourth con, it literally catches your breath. So you're gonna have to watch your breathing when you use this. Fifth con, you can't use it in USB and XLR mode at the same time. If you were thinking, oh, I'm gonna use it in USB and XLR mode at the same time so I can use the software on the XLR, doesn't work that way. And now for my overall thoughts. In my humble opinion, I think the Maono PD400x is a milestone microphone. For $140 to $160, I can't think of a mic or mic interface combo that can top this sound. Even a budget audio interface like the Behringer UMC204HD is about $120. If you get that, then you'd have maybe $40 left to spend on a good for its price kind of mic, say the Behringer XM8500, but those mics do not come without glaring weaknesses. For instance, the XM8500 has a chunky low end, but it's very muddy. This mic's weaknesses, in my opinion, are not deal breakers. You just talk to it and you get a big sound. This is what I thought how my voice would sound when I spoke into the SM7B for the first time, and I cannot emphasize pricing enough. This is Maono's most expensive mic to date, so you can argue that it's their flagship. When I first saw the price tag, I was like, for that money, I can already practically buy a Shure MV7 or a Rode PodMic USB. But as soon as I spoke into this mic, I was like, no. The PD400x is trying to compete with the Shure SM7B. This is Maono's SM7B. If you have the extra money, do consider getting the PD400x over, say, the Fine AM8, the Fine K688, or the Maono PD200x, because it is in a different category. With those mics, I always felt as though there was something lacking frequency-wise, but this one just sounds good right out of the box to me. It's not a budget mic. It's a budget premium mic. Or premium budget mic. Maono, if you're watching this, please consider adding a noise canceling button into the PD400Z or whatever you're gonna call its successor. That was great for this little DGM20. Really enjoyed the noise canceling for that, and if you would add that to this, that is really going to help with the noise floor. Alright guys, if you like this video, please consider subscribing to this channel because every sub counts. Take care.